Big D Wiz, oldschoolstereo.com, here today to talk about some Rockford DSM series amplifiers. Just going to show off some of the ones that I have here so you guys can check them out. So watch the video and let's see what's up. Alright, first up for my DSM series, I'm going to show off the Punch Amp Link for the DSM series. And I actually have two. There's one outside the box and one inside the box. They're actually links, and there's two that were attempts at making a link, and that didn't turn out so well. So anyway, that's what those are. Those allow you to link the amplifiers together to make it look like one long grill. Alright, so we have the baby series here of the DSMs. These are the Punch 40, and as you can see there's three different models. There's a Punch 40, a Punch 40i, and a Punch 40iX. Now, the Punch 40i, I really don't understand why they came out with that model, because I'm not sure if it has any differences than the original Punch 40. But the iX model had the built-in crossover, so that one made sense. The Punch 40 DSM was a replacement to the Punch 45 HD. Alright, so I took out my Punch 45 HD here to show you the size difference. As you can see, the DSM series is actually approximately the same size without the end caps, but all these have end caps on them. And I will take one of the end caps off and kind of show you all the connections and what they look like. But the Punch 45 here still used the Molex connector, and had the bass and treble controls, and Molex connectors are no good. Nobody likes those, so I'm glad Rockford moved on to the terminal strips. And next up we have the Punch 60, which really didn't have a model before. Maybe the Punch 75 is about as close as I can think of, the Punch 75 HD. But Rockford added, they added different models to appear to fit in better into the classes, because they added like the 40, the 60, the 100, and the 200. That way when you added like a 40 and a 60 together, you'd have 100 watts. So the like I said, there's only two models of the 60 and the 60iX, and there again the difference is the 60iX has the built-in crossover. And I've taken the end caps off of this Punch 60 just to show you the terminal connections here for the ground and the plus 12 volt, and they still used a little spade connector for the terminal. Not sure why they didn't have that on a terminal strip also. But the other side, you can see there's just the speaker outputs, bass and treble controls, and gain controls here are right beside the RCA jacks, and there's the other channel. So pretty simple design. A lot of people call these the waffle grills because they look like kind of like a George Foreman grill, but they're pretty powerful for what they are. And I'll talk about the next two models kind of together, the Punch 100 and 200 series. Again, like the 60, there were the regular model and then the iX model. Now the iX models came out like a year later. Those are like 1994, 95. The regular DSM series without the crossover came out in approximately 93. Might have been a late 92. So the Punch 200 kind of was the daddy. It replaced the Rockford Punch 150, which before this was kind of the top dog in the Punch series. So the Punch 200 iX was kind of the king of the hill at the time. Now also a change with the Punch series, Rockford added some 4-channel models. Now before they had, in the Power series were the only ones that had 4 channels, which would have been like the Power 100 HD, the Power 300, Power 650, Power 1000, etc. But on the DSM series they actually added 4-channel models, and they had actually 3 models. They had the 4020, the 4040, and the 4080. Now I've been told the 4020 was only out for a short period of time, and actually because it did 4 times 20 watts rated, and the 4040 was 4 times 20 watts rated, so it was a little bit of confusion there. Not sure, again, it might have been like the I for the Punch 40, kind of a strange anomaly there for Rockford. And a little bit later, maybe the mid 90s or so, I think it was 95, Rockford changed from the DSM series to the X series. So all the models you just saw would have been an X2 for the 2 channels and X4 for the 4 channels. So as of right now, the only 2 that I have are the 160 X4, which is 20 watts times 4 RMS, and the 400 X4, which is 50 watts times 4 RMS into 4 ohms. I'm going to step back real quick. The 4020, there was a difference between the 4020 and the 4040. The 4040 and 4080 both had bass and treble controls, whereas the 4020 does not. The 160X4 and the 400X4, neither one of those had bass or treble controls, but they had crossovers built in for internal and for pass-through. Okay, I flipped one of the amps over. This is the 100IX. I was just going to show you the crossover, and it came with a little rubber cap that went over this, and this one happens to be missing the cap, but it is just a, I'll see if I can pull it out, just a little crossover chip, and it gives you some options as far as high pass, low pass, or full range. All that is built into this single chip. It just depends on how you put it in the amplifier as to how it works. As you can see, there's silk screening here on the back of the amp that shows you, gives you some specs and tells you where the connections are. So there you have it, folks. There's a brief overview of the Rockford DSM series amplifiers. And I know you guys like to see this stuff, but you also like to see it tested. So I have all intentions of doing tests on each and every one of these amplifiers. Now it's going to take a while. I've got some other things you probably have seen with the 25x2 cheater amps that I want to do, but just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up for what to expect in the future from me. And I appreciate your support for watching my channel and everything, and stay tuned. And as always, see ya!